Hey y'all, Pam here with BeeCreative Crafts and welcome back. So today is March 13th, 2022, and today I'm coming at you with something a little different. Today I'm going to redo a video that I posted about a week and a half ago. That video was just a 2-minute short, and I have since made it private. So if you received notification that I had posted a video and then when you went to watch it, it wasn't there, that's why. So here's the reason I have made it private. That weekend was a busy weekend and I just didn't have time to record and edit and upload a longer video. So I had been making Loveys that weekend, which actually I've been making them since probably January. I have got a craft show coming up the first part of June. So I was making a bunch of Loveys because I feel like those sell better in the spring because people aren't wanting to buy hats and scarves and heavy blankets and that kind of thing. So I was trying to make up a few of those in between other larger projects just so I felt like I had something accomplished. So I took several pictures of those and uploaded this short video. Now, based on the comments I was receiving, apparently I must have left out some important information that they felt was needed. So, like I said, I made it private so that I could go back and rewatch just to see what was going on with it. Because I felt like I was on the verge of apologizing, but I really didn't feel like I needed to apologize because I hadn't done anything wrong. I was simply showing what I was currently working on at that time. So, while I was working on those, I decided I would go watch some other videos of people that make the Loveys to see if they make them the same way that I do. The reason for that, who knows, they may do theirs a little different. They may have a tip or trick that I haven't thought of. So I wanted to go see how they did theirs. And some of y'all may or may not know, but as a content creator, the views that you get on your videos helps your channel to grow. So I felt like by going and watching their videos, I was also helping out their channel by giving them watch time. I knew that I could find a link to one super quick because Rose from Rose Likes Crochet, she makes Loveys quite often, and I knew that she posted the link in her description for the pattern or the tutorial that she uses for hers. So she uses One by Z. So I went to her channel and found one of her videos where she talked about the Loveys and clicked on the link. So while I'm making my Loveys, I watched Z's video. Now, she also starts hers out with 36 single crochet. That particular weekend, I was also doing 36 because I was using a thinner weight yarn and did not realize that I was out of these, the multicolors. All I had were my black ones. I didn't have any of my multi ones, which I do now. But anyway, so in order to get good coverage, I was using a thinner weight yarn, so I had to do 36. Now, if I'm doing a granny square, I normally start out with 24. Well, actually, I won't even say normally. I start out with whatever number of chains or single crochets is going to cover my ponytail holder. So if I'm using a thicker weight, I may only do 24 single crochets, whereas if I'm using a thinner, I may go up to 36 or maybe even larger if needed. Depending on the size of the stuffed animal also comes into play. That particular weekend, like I said, I was using a thinner weight yarn and I needed to cover the black. So I'd started with 36. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See, you cannot see the black until I pull this apart. And now you can see that I'm using, that was a black ponytail holder. But I like good coverage and I don't want you to be able to see that ponytail holder. So that's why I had started out with 36. Now, why 36? Why not 35, 34? 36 because it's divisible by 4 and this is going to be a square. So I wanted an even number for each side. So sometimes I do 36, sometimes I do 32, sometimes I do 28. It just really depends on what I'm making. And sometimes I will start out with an odd number that is not divisible by 4 if I'm working in the round and not working a square. So, that being said, I've been crocheting since I was 8. So I don't use anybody's pattern for granny squares because I've been making them for so long, I don't need one. So normally for that particular yarn, which is a light 4, I think. I don't think it's not a 3. It's labeled as a 4, but I feel like it's a very thin 4. So here's one that I made after I bought my multicolored ponytail holders. So here's one that I made. And this one I started out with 28. Ta-da! And then when you pull it apart, see I used white. But you can see the white peeking through, but since it matches the yarn, it's not noticeable. So I did less rounds of crochet. Now, each year when I start making these, I have the stuffed animals that I want to use sitting there so that I can make sure that if the ponytail holder happens to break, that the blanket is still going to be usable. So if I'm using a starting round of 40, say 40 single crochets, if that ponytail breaks, then that opening is going to be way too big for that particular stuffed animal. Okay, so here's the test swatch that I did from January. I did a chainless single crochet foundation of the 28 single crochets. So a single crochet chainless foundation, 28. Joined it and then worked around. And the reason I did that, I grabbed one of these little stuffed animals. I wanted to make sure that if the ponytail holder broke, I could still fit it over the head of the animal and it still be usable, so that it's not ginormous and it's not going to fall off, and that the Lovey or the blanket will still be usable. And so that's how I got the number. That's how I work the numbers partially. This one started out with 24, and that one used the white ponytail holder. And then this one, not 24, I started out with 28. And this one I also started out with 28. And again, you can't really see the ponytail holder. This one is a buff color, I do believe. And you'll see the way I do mine normally. Now, I don't do it this way every single time. I will do the round of single crochet, and then I will go and do another round of either single or half double in each stitch. You're not usually doing an increase unless I need it to be an increase for a pattern, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a minute. But that's how I do it. And then I go ahead and start my granny, and then I work out from there. So there's that one. And then here's another one in another color. Whoop. And then this one, I used a gray ponytail holder. Again, this one also started out with 28. Now, sometimes I like to just get a little creative and see what kind of patterns I can come up with on my own. And I decided I wanted something that was round instead of square. So I came up with this one. So he's the same size, but he's worked in the round. And this one I started out with 24 instead of 28. And really, 24 just happens to be divisible by 4. That was not intentional. That was just, I needed an even number for how I wanted to start this particular one out. So I did 24 single crochet, then I did 24 half double. And the reason I did half double is because I didn't like the way the single crochet was laying. So I frogged it out and started over. And then I just started doing increases. So I did a 2 double crochet cluster, and then I did a chain 1, and then I did 2 double crochet all the way around. Then the next round I did an increase by making the traditional 3 cluster granny. And then I went up to a 4 cluster. Let me turn it here where you can see. Then I went up to and did a 4 cluster. And then I went back and did another round of 2, working 2 double crochet right in between those 2 double crochet of that 4. Then I did an increased round of half double. I think I did 3 rounds of that. And then I did a round of 3, round of 4, and then ended with a round of half double. And that was just working that. I worked that up sitting on the couch and just playing around with it because, like I said, I just wanted something in the round, wanted something a little different. I was actually working on the one for Spider-Man. Hold on. I was working on this one for Spidey. So he's a little different than that one, and I changed up the colors. But, so I just wanted something a little different. All right. So, that's how I did those. But, the point of the original video was to show you that you can use any pattern worked in the round to make loveys. And so let me show you which patterns that I have made up using someone else's pattern. Actually, before I go, let me show y'all this one real quick. This one is another one that I worked in the round. And this just goes to show how different yarn lays different. And the stitch count makes a difference. So this one here is with a 3-weight yarn, and I started out with 32 going around, boop, and I worked it on white, and then I did the same basic increase, but it was laying funny, so I pulled it back out. And so instead of starting with out here doing a 3, I just did a 2 and then up to a 3. So just play around with it and till you get it how you want it. Let me stand back here so y'all can see it. And y'all, these make, when you're working them in the round like this, these make really cute skirts for dolls. So like if you don't want to make a lovey, but like maybe these would work really cute on like an American Girl doll to make a little skirt. Super cute. And if you want to buy some of the like white elastic, you can do that and make a set. You can make a set for the doll and a set for your little girl. Super cute. Okay. But anyway, so after you get your loveys made, if you were not aware, you just stick it on your little stuffed animal. So if you wanted it to be a skirt, you could do it that way. Or if you want to pop it on up and do it as the lovey, you just put it around their little head like that. Now this is not the one that I made for him. His colors don't really match, but that is how you do that. Now, I forgot to tell y'all where I saw the idea to make these. So I'd added loveys to my inventory back in 2017. Okay, so let me pause right here real quick. When I say amigurumi style, what I mean is you actually crochet the head and arms of the stuffed animal, and then you attach the blanket either by sewing it or crocheting the blanket directly to those parts. Okay, so now back to the shortcut for creating a lovey using a purchased stuffed animal. Around that same time, I was scrolling through, I'm pretty sure it was Pinterest. Now, it possibly could have been a Facebook page, but I'm pretty sure it was Pinterest that I saw this on. And I went back through my original personal Pinterest boards, and I could not find where I had pinned it. So either that initial one is gone now, or I didn't save it. But all she said was, at that time, was that she crocheted around some elastic to create her lovey. So like I said, I went back and I tried to find the original poster and I couldn't find it. So like I said, I don't know whose idea it was. There we go. I'll get it out there in a second. Yeah, so I don't know whose original idea it was. So after that one said that she had crocheted around elastic, I kind of put it in the back of my head because I was thinking of the white strips of elastic, not ponytail holder. Like ponytail holder never even like entered my thought process. And then a few weeks later, I saw another post and it was a picture of a ponytail holder and a picture of some yarn and then a picture where she's crocheting around it and then a picture of the finished product. And I'm like, oh my gosh, brilliant. Why didn't I think of that? So that's where the idea came from. But I didn't watch it on YouTube. I didn't watch anybody's pattern. I didn't watch as far as for the granny square. But this, crocheting around this to become the center of a lovey was not my idea. I saw it on Pinterest. And like I said, I could not find the original picture. So I went back to the 2 videos that I had watched over the past month while I was making loveys, and to see when their videos were posted, because it's possible that whoever posted that picture had watched one of their videos or had seen, or maybe they posted it first before they ever created their video. So I'm going to give credit to these 2 YouTubers, and I'm going to post their links in the description box below, because like I said, I don't know whose idea it originally was to make these. I didn't come up with it. Like I said, I simply saw it on Pinterest and then I recreated it. I wish I could have found the original poster. I wish I could have found the original picture, but I couldn't find it. I tried, and I've looked for it for a week and a half and I just can't find it. I've searched Pinterest, I've searched Google, I have searched Facebook groups, and I just can't find it. And a lot of the Facebook groups did not exist then. They are newer Facebook groups than from when I first started, so I knew that it didn't come from them. And, you know, I mean, it could have been that a friend sent it to me in an email, or there's really no telling. But I've tried to find it and I can't. So I'm going to give credit for this idea to 2 YouTubers, because both of their videos were posted towards the beginning of 2018. So there's a good chance that the picture I saw from Pinterest possibly could have been from them. This is who I'm giving the credit to. One of them is, in fact, the video that I watched that Rose from Rose Likes Crochet always uses, and that is for Z. So I will be leaving the link to her tutorial in the description box below. And the other one is DOY Creations, and her video was also posted towards the beginning of 2018, so I'm going to leave a link to her video in the description box below as well. Again, I did not use either of these to create mine specifically. I did not watch their specific tutorials to get the pattern for the granny square, because like I said, I make my granny square a little different than both of them do, and I've been making these for several years, and this is just how I do mine. So there's that. So hopefully that will address the comments that were left in the original video. But now for what the original video was about, using any pattern that has worked in the round to create your loveys. So this first one, okay, so do y'all watch Mikey from the Crochet Crowd? He has a lot of videos where the blankets are worked in the round, and a lot of the Crochet Crowd or Yarnspiration crochet alongs, or the Joanne's crochet alongs, are for Afghans worked in the round. Now, if you don't have a need for a large Afghan, but you want to try out some of the new stitches, or you like the way it looks, use it to make a lovey. So this is from the Calming Comfort. Whoop! Now, this is also the weekend when I only had black ponytail holders. So as you see, it's black. So I started with 36 single crochet. Then I did an increase round to get my count up to 48 so that I could start with round 5 of the Calming Comfort Afghan. Now, so I did my single crochets around 36, and then I did the increase on this next one to get me up to 48. So I did an increase right into the very next round, and then I started with my Calming Comfort. Now, if I had have had a if I had have had the correct color, I would have started with a smaller amount of single crochets and then did my expansion to get started. But anyway, I did not. So this is what I have done with this one. And this is rounds 5 through 18 of the Calming Comfort pattern by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. And I will also leave a link in the description box for this pattern in case you want to work it as a full afghan, or if you want to do the same as I did and work it into a Lovey. And here's one I made Friday. This one is the Study of Planet Earth, which is also another one by Mikey at the Crochet Crowd. Now, I have actually made this one as a full afghan that I made as a wedding present. But, so this one I started out with 32 single crochets. And this one is worked around a white ponytail holder. So, but this is a 3-weight. So I needed more single crochets to get the coverage, and I was also using a smaller hook size. So if I had have started with 24, or I probably could have even started with 28, but 24 was going to be really tight to get it to fit around the head of the stuffed animal. So I started with 32 and then jumped in on round 3, I do believe it is where I started with the Calming Comfort. I mean, not the Calming Comfort, with the Study of Planet Earth blanket. Crochet along. And I did weeks 1 through 3 of the Study of Planet Earth. And then I ended it with a round of half double crochet. You can make these as long as you want or as short as you want. What I tend to do is make them long enough to cover up the animal, the stuffed animal that I'm working with. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this one, I made this one to go on this little guy. Now, y'all, I picked these up the end of February. All the little animals. So I picked these up off of the Easter aisle at Walmart. They were $2.98 a piece. And then I found this little doggy. See, he's a little bit bigger, but I found him over in the toy section and he was $3.44. So, whichever y'all want to use. But anyway, yeah. So you make your Lovey as long as your little stuffed animal so that it covers them up. Now, if you're wanting to make it as a skirt, you can make it shorter. If you want to make a tutu, make it shorter. You can always make it longer. However you want to do it, y'all. Your choice. So, that's how I made these. And again, I will leave the link for this pattern in the description box below as well. All right, y'all. I think I've covered everything. I have remade this video multiple times this weekend, and I'm not sure if I've covered all the bases or not. I have notes down here, but like I said, I've started it over so many times. At this point, I don't know what I have said and what I haven't, so I guess I'm going to go mush all these together and hope that I covered everything. So let me just look over my notes super quick and see if there's anything that I know I haven't told y'all yet. I know one thing I forgot to show y'all where I got the tie beanies. Hold up. Okay, so the tie beanies I picked up at Michael's, and y'all, always watch for coupon codes for Michael's because you can get these for less than what they're marked for. And I don't remember what they were marked at, to be honest, but you can also get these online from the tie website, and they're let's see. I was going to say $5.99, but I really don't think they are. But you can order these online from the tie company. And these are just the tie beanies. And then they do also, I think the Beanie Boos are what are $5.99 on the tie website. And they also offer free shipping. But I mean, if you've got a coupon for Michael's, be sure to check them out and see which one is cheaper. So you can save $1 or $2. So now I'm going to go edit the video. Me again. Okay, so when you're getting the ponytail holders, if you want to make these, be sure to do the stretch test if you have some at home that you're wanting to use. And what I mean by that is stretch it. Let me show you something. Okay, so I have this bag of smaller ones that I had bought. These at Dollar General. And it was a set that came with the small ones. Hold on. So I've had these for a while. But it was an assorted pack that came in 2 sizes, the small ones and the larger ones. The larger, you know, and I was making scrunchies, so I needed 2 different sizes for the thinner hair and thicker hair. But these are weak. And what I mean by that is, look, I did a stretch test on one because I was going to use it last weekend for one of those Loveys for the orangey one. And I did stretch, and it snapped. So they don't all snap, but that particular one did. So you want to make sure you give it a big tug because you don't want it to break quickly. Does that make sense? You want to make sure that it's going to, like this one. Woo, I just shot it across the room. That one, that one is going to be okay. But like I said, the pink one that I grabbed, or this peachy corally color, it snapped. Like I went boop, boop, and it snapped. So I decided to, that's why I was using the black, because it is a thicker, these are thicker than, let me show you. See the thickness of them? So I wanted to use the thicker ones because I felt like maybe these would hold up longer, and they're going to be used, you know, and washed and dried. And I have washed and dried these because, you know, they get stuck in my pocket and they get washed and dried, and they hold up fairly well. But like I said, they can break because it's just elastic and it can get brittle and break, which is why I did the test swatch. These here I picked up at Dollar Tree a long time ago, and I haven't even used them. It's still completely together, so I can't vouch for these as to whether or not they work well, because like I said, I haven't used these yet. Again, these are thinner than the Goody brand. Now, you don't have to buy the Goody brand, and what I mean by Goody is this here. You don't have to buy the Goody brand. There's also a Scrunchy brand, or you can use another brand. Just be sure to do the stretch test because you don't want them to break. And when I say stretch, I mean give it a good tug. Don't just go, oh, it's good. No, I mean really tug it because you don't want it to break. And that's still not going to guarantee that these aren't going to break at some point in the future, but at least giving it a good tug before you start your project is going to give you better chances that it's going to hold up. Okay, on to editing. All right, y'all, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous week, and until next time, happy crafting. Bye!